Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In crypto that feel like just another pump, just another hype wave, just another piece of news that drives people into FOMO and then leaves them hanging once the price retraces. Who don't let emotions cloud their judgment. Those are the people who walk away with life-changing gains. And honestly, believe ZBCN is sitting right on that edge right now. I genuinely think ZBCN can change your life. Type of way, but in a way where the math actually makes sense. The project has the roadmap, the institutional support, the partnerships, and the compliance narrative that fits exactly into the puzzle of where global finance is heading. Could this thing do 10x to 20x this year? In the absolute worst-case scenario, if things move slower than expected or the market stumbles a bit, you can't get those kinds of returns in stocks, bonds, or even most real estate markets. That's why crypto still draws in so many people who are willing to take that leap of faith. This is not financial advice. Everything I've shared today is based on my own research, analysis, and personal opinion. The crypto market is extremely volatile, and prices can swing up or down very quickly. Always make sure you do your own due diligence, consult with a financial advisor if needed, and only invest money that you are fully prepared to lose. Remember, opportunities can be life-changing, but risks are always part of the game. Now, let's not sugarcoat it. The psychology of the average crypto investor is a roller coaster. The price goes low, people get greedy, they start buying in, the price pumps, everyone thinks it's only going to go higher, so they FOMO in at the top. Then the inevitable sell-off comes and panic takes over. People sell at a loss, convince themselves the project is dead, and they move on. That is the cycle of retail investors in crypto. And it's the exact cycle that institutions and whales use to accumulate. They thrive off retail panic. They buy when you sell, and they sell when you FOMO. But here's the difference this time around. A lot of people in the ZBCN space, they're not just reacting to price swings. They're talking about the news catalysts. They're analyzing what each announcement means for the long-term growth of the network. And the reason is simple. Just one single announcement pumped ZBCN 20%. Let that sink in. One announcement alone moved the price by 20%. And if that was just the tip of the iceberg, imagine what happens when all the pieces fall into place. So, let's break down the biggest catalyst for ZBCN, because this is where the story gets exciting. Going to talk about the top 5 reasons why ZBCN can be explosive this year. This is a huge deal. A lot of projects in crypto talk about adoption, talk about bringing in retail users, but they never really execute it in a way that feels natural. ZBCN is actually building a super app that's designed to onboard more retail users in a seamless, practical way. Think about how WeChat or PayPal transform their markets by being a one-stop solution. That's what a super app can do in crypto, and it means we're not just talking about speculation anymore. We're talking about everyday usability that makes people's lives easier. That's the first domino. ZBCN is not even listed on Tier 1 exchanges yet. We're not on Coinbase, we're not on Binance, we're not on Kraken. And yet, the coin has still managed to gain massive traction. Do you understand what that means? Tier 1 exchange listings are some of the biggest liquidity and exposure catalysts you can get in this industry. When a coin gets listed on Binance, for example, the floodgates open. Millions of new investors suddenly have easy access. It's the difference between being a hidden gem and being mainstream. While ZBCN isn't listed on Coinbase yet, Coinbase Ventures was actually an early backer of the project way back in 2021. Alongside Coinbase Ventures, you've got heavy hitters like Circle, Solana Ventures, Breyer Capital, and Lightspeed also putting their money behind it. They back projects with real potential. And if they were willing to invest early, it's only a matter of time the fruits of that relationship in the form of major listings and integrations. The third catalyst is compliance, specifically ISO 222 compliance. This is huge. Crypto giants like XRP, XLM, Hedera, Quant Network, and XDC are all ISO 222 compliant. What does that mean in simple terms? It means they speak the same digital language as global banks and financial institutions. It's like being able to plug directly into the backbone of the financial system. ZBCN isn't fully there yet, but it's moving down that roadmap. And once it hits ISO 222 compliance, the doors swing wide open for institutional adoption. It's not the token itself that becomes compliant, it's the Zebec Network as an infrastructure. That's the key distinction. Once the network is ready for ISO compatibility, it becomes part of the future-proof framework that institutions are already preparing for. Remember, the global shift to ISO 222 is rolling out in November 2025. That's not far off. And projects that are prepared ahead of time are the ones that institutions will flock to. Now, ZBCN isn't just chasing compliance for the sake of it. The project is part of the stablecoin narrative, and this is where things get really interesting. Stablecoins are already a $300 billion market and growing fast. Ripple itself has said that stablecoins could hit a $1 trillion market in the not-so-distant future. Why? Because stablecoins are the bridge between traditional finance and crypto. They're what whales park their money in. They're what institutions use for settlement, and they're what banks are now experimenting with as they issue their own dollar-pegged coins. Headline about central banks testing digital currencies or private banks issuing stablecoins. That's part of this narrative. The Zebec Network, with its focus on stablecoin payroll, fits directly into this space. Think about it. Global payroll, done instantly, in stablecoins, across borders, with lower fees and faster settlement. That's not just crypto hype, that's solving real problems. And this ties back to compliance again. If Zebec Network is ISO 222 compliant, it can communicate directly with banks. That's why this isn't just about speculation anymore. It's about building the rails for the future of finance. Now let's talk events. We just had the Cybus event, and what happened? The price pumped massively on the news. Then came the classic TAV. That's fine. That's healthy. How sensitive the market is to positive announcements. Could you imagine what happens when a major partnership gets unveiled? When a Tier 1 exchange listing drops? When the superapp goes live? These are not ifs, they're whens. And don't forget seasonality. September is historically a bearish month for crypto. But if you've been in the space for more than a year, you already know this. But what happens after September? October and November roll around, and historically, those are bullish months. Pair that with the fact that the Federal Reserve has already made one rate cut and is considering 2 more this year, and you've got a recipe for risk assets like crypto to take off again. Lower interest rates mean more liquidity. More liquidity means more risk-on behavior. That's bullish for ZBCN. The sweet spot is around 1 million ZBCN tokens. At current prices, it's not unachievable. If you have a full-time job, if you're serious about investing, you can make it happen. You can't expect to put $100 into a project and walk away with $1 million anymore. That era ended in 2017. This cycle is different. It's faster, it's more aggressive, and it rewards people who have a plan. If you're serious, you've got to put in at least a few $1,000s. For example, if you put in around $4,000 today, that could secure you roughly 1 million tokens. And let's be real, in the world of crypto, $4,000 is not a lot. Whales are throwing around hundreds of millions. Retail investors think $4K is too much, but in the grand scheme of things, it's chump change. Because it's easy to track. If the price goes to 2 cents, that's $20K. If it goes higher, your returns scale quickly. It's about giving yourself a position size that actually matters. If you're holding a few thousand tokens, even if it 10x's, you're not walking away with life-changing money. But if you're holding 1 million, every move in price becomes significant. You suddenly have skin in the game. You become a serious investor. Even in the worst-case scenario, ZBCN only does a 5 to 6x. If you've got 1 million tokens, you're still sitting on $25K. That's a solid return in any market. But the upside potential is far greater. With the superapp, ISO compliance, Tier 1 listings, and major partnerships on the horizon, the bullish case is undeniable. And if you found value in today's breakdown, don't forget to smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments section, and share this video with others who might be interested in ZBCN or crypto in general. And of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We've got a lot more deep dives, news updates, and analysis coming your way, and you'll want to stay ahead of the curve.